I let AI play Wordle, daily trivia, and then a spin. And let me tell you, it's pretty crazy at some of this stuff. So as we all know, I was beefing with ChatGPT in my last video. So you lied to me. You broke my trust. You ruined my life. And you lied to me. It completely ruined my game experience and I needed to exact some revenge. Well, it kind of turns out I'm bad at grudges and I wanted to make up with it. I wanted to play some games with Fred. Fred is what I'll be calling ChatGPT from now on. So I thought, let's play Wordle. It's pretty easy and Fred already seemed to have a good understanding of how it worked, so I didn't have to explain much, which was great. I asked Fred, what do you want to put for your first guess? And Fred's first guess was crane, which is respectable, it's good. It gets a lot of vowels, a lot of common double letters, the C and the R, and that landed him 3 yellow letters, the A, the C, and the N. His next guess was acorn, which gave him 4 out of the 5 letters he needed, but only the N was in the right place. But on the very next guess, we ran into a bit of an issue. We wanted to guess nacho, and moving the N from the end to the start was a bad move, because we already figured out the N belongs there. So I asked him, are you stupid? And like the blubbering fool he is, he apologized and he said, let's try ocean, which is another bad guess because the C is in the same spot as acorn. But at this point, I was tired of arguing with him, and it's his game, so I'll let him ruin it. And again, we found out that the A, C, and O were in the wrong places, but the N was right. So for his 4th guess, Fred went for bacon. And as each tile flipped and revealed that it was green, my heart pounded. I felt like a proud parent of a 16-year-old playing t-ball against 4-year-olds. He had just hit a home run, and I was the only one going crazy because he was way too overqualified for this. But it still felt good. So after defeating Wordle, I figured we should move on to some general trivia. So I pulled up Daily Dozen Trivia, and we tested his knowledge. And like an absolute machine, Fred went from question to question, answering them instantly, getting them right, until we got to a picture. And in Daily Dozen Trivia, you have to guess what 2 celebrities are mixed together in the photo. And Fred couldn't do it. He was stumped. He had some sort of mental block almost, like he just literally could not answer. So I skipped it and I kept going, thinking maybe we'd come back to it. But he answered all the remaining questions, got them right, but he couldn't answer the middle one. We only scored an 8 out of 9. It was great, but it wasn't perfect. And so I really wanted to put Fred to the test. Now that I'd felt truly confident in his intellectual abilities, I wanted to see how much of a history buff he was. So I brought him to the good old-fashioned game, Time Guesser. A game where you have to guess the exact year and location a particular photo was taken. And what happened next was pretty shocking. The first round, we saw a bunch of people standing outside some pretty old-looking buildings with signs above the doors, and it was hard for me to discern maybe where they were. But Fred quickly realized that this photo was taken in San Francisco right after a major earthquake. And it was taken outside one of the buildings that was offering refugees food, water, supplies, and just aid in general. So I put in his guess, and he was right. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, it's a fluke. This AI can't do this. This is bullshit. So round 2 comes around. I immediately recognize it from reading the Shibuya arc, but I don't tell him this. As soon as I submit the picture to him, he gets it. He tells me we're in Shibuya, and we're in the early 1990s. Which is just crazy. How does he get it? He can tell the models of cars and when particular buildings have those advertisements up. It's actually kind of scary how good he is at figuring it out. So round 3 rolls around, and it's a bunch of women with one man in the photo, and you can kind of see this big structure in the background. So I send it to Fred, and he gives me his thoughts. And he says, in the background, you can see the Washington Monument, and these women are wearing bathing suits from the early 1920s, and he thinks we're somewhere in that area. Guess what? Fred was right again. I want to stump him. I want to come up with a photo that he just can't figure out. But he's too good. And this was my fault for the low score this time because I placed him on a spot where he shouldn't have been. But it is what it is. So then in round 4, we finally get a modern digital photo. Full of color and full of some young people just boozing it up, having a damn good time. And they're all wearing clothes that I could have stolen from my sister when I was in middle school. And guess what? Fred knows exactly where I am, where you are. Fred knows everything about us. I can't stump him. I can't. So lo and behold, we get to round 5, and it's another historical photo, and he's reading through the image. He knows it's in German, and he pinpoints the exact location and date on the first try. Like, it was from a particular historical event, and he just binks it. That's fucking wild. Some closing thoughts. This is one of the only times that I've kind of been impressed by AI, and so I think I can finally give it some merit. They don't know jack shit about video games, so still got that, baby.
Did you notice